Wow, that looks very serious. Hello and welcome back to the channel with absolutely no theme. If you would like to see me do this makeup and talk about all of my favorite makeup products from 2022, then you have come to the right place. I go through every single category. Everything isn't specifically from 2022, but it is the things that I have either discovered this year or loved for many years and they deserve a mention. So it's just really good products all throughout the video, and if you want to check something new out, if you want to tell me about yours, then do so. So if you want to see all my favorite makeup products from 2022, then just keep on watching. And you can also see me do this look, and I tell you what I do. So if you want to stay for that, that's fine too. My hair looks a mess. I've had it in a clip. Sorry. I'm gonna get straight into it after I put my hair up. Now, am I organized and have put everything out exactly in front of me the way I would like it? No, I'm not. I'm going to start off with primer, I was gonna say, but actually no. The best moisturizer that I like before doing my makeup. I just put it on and somehow this got red. I don't know what happened. It's the Vichy Qualia? I don't know. Terminal Gel Cream. I use this before I put my makeup on. I use this at night before I go to bed most nights. It's just really, really hydrating and really thin, and it almost feels like it gets a little bit sticky, so it almost feels like it helps to like grip whatever foundation or anything you put on after it. I just put that on before I started filming, but I put a little bit more on because I did, you know, a little swatch in my hand so you can see. And then I have this primer, which is the Hydra Matte Pore Correct Velvet Cream by Hydropore. I think that's their logo. No, HGS and Rouge. Actually, I think the logo is the big thing here. And what I do is I just take a little bit, less is more. Last few times that I've used this, I put out way too much. And it was so unnecessary and it's a waste of product. What I just put at the back of my hand, it's like a little dollop, is all you need. Actually, it's probably more than I needed. Given I have quite a small face. I have a huge forehead, but I have a pretty small head. So my face, therefore, isn't that big. I just spread it out kind of everywhere. And this one I use mostly, and I kind of like press it where you have more pores. It always turns so red, I don't know why. And my second primer that I really like, which is an honorable mention, that one kind of comes first because it's very hydrating as well. But this is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer. And this also, if I should give this an honorable mention, anyone who just wants like a quick everyday, I don't want to do any makeup, this kind of evens your skin tone a little bit. If you're pretty fair, I should say. It's not exactly deep. Maybe it evens your skin tone if you have deep skin as well. I wouldn't know, obviously, because I don't have deeper skin tone, but I'm gonna put some on just for demonstrating. It does smooth, and in the camera it actually doesn't look at all like it takes away any of the redness, but in real life it looks like it does. So I don't know, do with that what you will. But I find if I just want my skin to look a bit more fresh and even, as you can see it's red but it's not as blotchy, I like to put that on because it evens everything out nicely. Feels good. Another thing that I've really loved doing before I do my makeup is putting on any type of eye cream. Now that could be anything. I have this All About Eyes Rich Reduces Circles, Puffs, and everything from Clinique. This one's great. Kind of a watery consistency. Or actually, no, it's not. This one's great. Does an amazing job. I use that one sometimes. I've used this one lately, and I really, really like it. I got this in a Christmas calendar. Looking it up, it's quite spendy. So I really enjoy it, but I'm not sure I'll repurchase it. But it's really great. It's from Avant, I'm not sure how to say that. 3-in-1 Hyaluron Filler Collagen Eye Formula, it just says. And then it just says Hyaluronic Collagen Maris Aqua Glycolic. So I'm guessing those are ingredients. I would show you, like give you a close-up of what it looks like on the back of my hand, but it's kind of spendy, so I don't want to wait. And I just put a little dot. Can you see that? I just put a little dot right there. That's kind of all I use. And before I knew it was spendy, that was all I used as well. I don't know, it just like glides out. Like it's feels very liquidy almost, which I really like because I don't like when it's heavy on my eyes or under eyes specifically. And this one also gets a little sticky, so it helps your makeup really stay on. Highly recommend that one. My favorite foundation of this year is the same one as the year before. I've had this as my top 5 foundation for the last probably 5 years, I think. This is the Luminous Silk Perfect Glow Flawless Foundation. They look like this. This is my summer and my winter shade. I know, it's stark, isn't it? Actually, this is probably lighter than I ever get. But I use them and I mix them together for most of the time. Yeah, this is too light for me at the moment, but the other shade up is too dark for me at winter. So I get this one, this is number 3, and this is number 8. Anytime I go back to them, I feel like nothing beats it, so those will be my top 1. Honorable mentions, I've used these once, I should say, are the Hourglass Seamless Finish Foundation Sticks. I've used these once, and they looked so good. At first application, I was like, do they look a little weird? Like, can you really detect them on my skin? But like an hour in, 2 hours in, like throughout the wear time, they just looked better and better and better. Don't know if that was maybe a good day. I'm gonna keep trying them out and I will let you know. But they were so good. So good throughout the day. When I took pictures, it looked flawless. It looked so good. My skin looked amazing. Another honorable mention is the Laura Mercier Flawless Luminous Radiant Perfecting Foundation. Can they stop having these long ass names, please? Which is also a summer and a winter shade. I will say I got a winter shade a while ago, so I didn't get as deep of a shade this time because I already had this, because this was the only one on sale. This is a little deeper than I get most summers, so I've been mixing it with others, but this one was on sale. And this formula I got a year before these two, and I feel like they've changed it. Or maybe these two were like duds. They're not duds in that sense. I still really like the foundation. I think it wears well, but the first couple pumps of mine were like, I shook them vigorously before using them, but the first couple of pumps, it's like the pump thing had maybe filled with oil or something. So the first few times I tried it, it was not good. It was really bad. It was greasy. It was like patchy. It wasn't great. Having used them a few times after that, they got better and better. Never this good, but they got really good at the end. Not this good though. If they were this good, they would have probably competed with these two, because I really love the formula of this. Those were my top foundation picks. Those were my top 3. I think that might be the only one except eyeshadow, maybe bronzers. I might have more than one, or where at least I have 3. I know I had more than one on the others as well. I think I'm gonna use the Laura Mercier ones just to prove a point to myself in my head that I didn't just lie and that they're still shit. So I'm just gonna start putting that on once I've shaken them up and mix them a little bit together, because they're not the right shade for me right now. What I like most about these is how thin they are. Like, that's what I loved about the first one, but the first one felt like it had more coverage. I don't know if it dried down quicker. I just feel like they've changed the formula, and I don't know why, because I like the first formula better. I don't know, it just felt more sturdy. It felt more wearable. It felt just like skin. This one, I feel like it takes a little while and then it looks like skin. It's still good. Still definitely up there with some of the best foundations. The only reason I'm complaining is because I believe they've taken a little bit of a step down from what they had before, because then that would have probably been my top foundation. I've said it twice now, I need to stop doing that. Talking over myself 6 times in a row, and then it's really annoying to edit later because I keep talking and I never shut the fuck up. I used this a lot during the shows and I found it very buildable. I also don't like applying with the end. Does anyone else feel like that? I feel like it applies better like this. I also felt like I get more surface area to work with on the actual sponge. Does that make sense to anyone else? Please tell me below. Then we come to concealer. I really only have one. The other one is an honorable mention. I love this. I'm in absolute love with this. This is the Luminous Silk Concealer. So it's the concealer to these foundations. Absolutely love it. It's thin. It just looks great under the eye. It doesn't really crease on me, which is weird because most concealers do. This one creases the absolute least so far. It's so thin. It looks luminous. It looks great. It never looks cakey or dry. It doesn't matter if I use a little more than usual. It never has looked cakey on me once. I used the shade number 5, and I thought this was going to be a summer concealer. I have used it all throughout winter and summer, I should say. So it's been very multi-use for me. Given I don't like my concealer to be like stark white, I don't like that look. I also don't feel like I need to use a lot of it. Sorry if my voice gets a little weird. I'm still a little sick from having COVID, and I balanced it out with a beauty blender. I don't know, I love, it's never heavy, it's so light. It almost feels like a fluffy concealer, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you see the difference, but do you see how luminous and nice my under eye looks? I just love it. I love it. The honorable mention is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer. I've had this for a couple of years, not this one specifically, but this concealer. It's been great. I feel like it has a little tiny bit more coverage than this one I'm wearing. This one is thinner, but this one is still thin, considering concealers. But it's an honorable mention. I really like this one as well. This one is just step above, you know? For powder, I use the same powder that I've always used since I started using loose setting powder. I use the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. Looks like this. I use it all over my face, but there's not much more than that I can say about it. Everybody knows about this. It's definitely nothing new. Actually, nothing of what I just talked about has been new. The only new foundation I've tried this year is this one, and I've only used it once. Okay, so now is usually the step I've set and where I do my bronzer. When I tell you, from the day that I got this palette, this is like the biggest mention of them all. This is actually in 2022. Huge shout out. This is also my first time trying eyeliner. Sorry. This is my first time trying Hourglass. Thank you. And I don't know if that's why I'm so like head over heels, because I haven't tried their formulas before. But this palette is so good. So good. I wish I got another bronzer instead of a blush. That's me personally. That's a personal thing. The blushes are still so good. They're great. They're beautiful. Wow. The highlight is beaming. It's beautiful. Used it on all of the shows. It was incredible. It looked great. The powders, I love Hourglass powders. At first when I put it on, I was like, it's not really doing much, is it? And then I went outside and I was like, wow, my skin has never looked better. It looks like skin. It's so pretty. All the pictures I took, it looked like I had gotten Botox. It just made everything so smooth. I love this. And this one specifically, if you can still get it, this was their holiday edition. This was the Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked Elephant palette. They have this in for different skin tones. This is the medium one. It's the one that fit me the best, color wise. And I'm not sure, I didn't like the butterfly one because it had 4 powders, and the powders wasn't really what I was excited for. I was excited for the bronzers and the blushes and the highlights, you know? So, but this one was the one who fit my skin tone the best as well. So, that led me to getting this. This is a huge honorable mention as well, because this one you can get all year round. This isn't a limited edition, it isn't a holiday edition. I love this. This bronzer, this blush, this is a powder. Don't know if I can swatch these for you. Is it focused? If you can see that. This one's a bit more of a soft highlight on my skin tone, and especially on my face. You can see it better if I angle it. It's like too light almost, it's too reflecting. But that's the bronzer and the blush and then the powder. They're so good. I've loved this bronzer so much, and I love the color of this blush. It's so flattering. It works so well. And that's also one of the marbled ones, the marbled blush and the marbled bronzer. There aren't any marbled ones in this one specifically. Third perfect bronzer is this one from Hourglass. This is the Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Nude Bronze Light. It is so beautiful. It is creamy. I've used this so much and it doesn't look like I made a dent in it. It is nude, it is proud, it is beautiful. You can build it up, you can wear it light. It is incredible. It looks good in any light, on any pictures. I used it on the shows where there was tons of makeup and it made itself beautifully on the face. And I've used it with like no makeup on like just bronzer and concealer, and it does a beautiful job with just evening out the skin, everything. I love this color. I'm sure I'm not the first one to say it because these two are by no means new. They're just new to me. This is new and I highly recommend this. If you can get your hands on this, I don't know if there's a sale now because we're past Christmas, maybe. If you can get this on sale, or if you can get your hands on this and you want something like this, maybe you want to try Hourglass like I did. I'm warning you, it's really good. You're going to want to look at it itself. But I've been using this color right here. I'm holding it upside down to not, you know, flash you with a mirror. But this powder right here, I've been using it all over my face. After I've set my face with the setting powder from Laura Mercier, then I grab this powder right here and I put it on my forehead. I put it on the tops of my cheeks. Don't know if you could see that, but it just made it look a lot like, I don't know, not glowier, but like healthier, if you see. It doesn't really show itself on camera, but it just gives the best, nicest, subtle glow to the skin where it just looks healthy and moisturized, you know what I mean? I like to bring it down here as well because I feel like this area is kind of where you can detect makeup on me, and it just makes it look very, very natural, and I love it. I'll just bring it on the nose and on the chin. So essentially I put it everywhere except this area right here because I don't want a little bit of glow and everything to make the pores and everything here look larger or enhance them. Even if it doesn't do that now, I've noticed the first time I wore it, it kind of did throughout the day when, because I have oily combination skin, it started peeking through, my natural oils started peeking through, and then it kind of looked, that oil made the powder accentuate my pores a little bit. So I stay clear of this area right here, but I do the sides of the nose to make it not look so cakey and just like radiant, you know? Fake it till you make it. Love that. I'm going to be using this bronzer today, and I've been using it a lot with this brush. Loving it. It's a Morphe brush from a set. I don't actually know what it's called. Can I see what it's called? It is called 123 Precision. We're back here. Precision Pointed Powder Brush. It's just the perfect shape. I know it's a powder brush, but like, hey, use them what works, the way that works for you. Use any brush the way it works for you, not just because it says that it's something. If you want to do your foundation with an eyeshadow brush, then do your foundation with an eyeshadow brush. Might take you a while, but if it works for you, go ahead. I've been using it kind of as a contour bronzer type situation, and I just take whatever's left and I drag it down the sides of my nose, and like that. A little bit under my bottom lip. And then important to make this area match the side of your face. This also does itself beautifully on the eyes if you just want like a quick something, because it has a little bit of emollient shimmer in it. So it's beautiful to just put all over the lid and a little bit in the crease and then be out the door. Nice! Lovely! So those are those. Oh, I can actually show you because I have this one. This is the other one that came with this one. Highly recommend. If you are of a deeper skin tone, this is the only one I have, so I can show you the other one. This one is also very pretty, very lovely. I use this shade as a contour for the shows, and this one I think it was as a little bit of a blush topper. I just used a tiny bit of it. It's so beautiful. If you have a deeper skin tone and you can get your hands on this, I'm sure you will be equally as happy with it as I am with this. I'm still really happy with this one, but maybe in summer I can use a lot more of the shades. This one is beautifully to put just on the lids. Same with this one, this blush. These two still work. They're fine. They're beautiful. Highly recommend. I can't say it enough. I'm going to use that blush in this palette, and I'm going to use that with one of these, just little cute brushes. I'm just going to dip that into there. And it is a beautiful, like, purpley pink, and it just looks very, very natural on the cheek. This color specifically, for some reason, I find looks really natural on me. Like, it's just like that's the color it would be if I blushed, and that's kind of what I look for in a day-to-day blush. And this one is just like through the roof. It's so good. It's just chef's kiss right there. I use this kind of as a highlight, like a subtle highlight on day-to-day basis, because it's a little light for me to use as a powder. I don't really understand these really dark colors with this powder. I mean, it probably works, but if this is my skin tone, I'm not sure I'm picking that as a bronzer. I don't know. I don't really know what they thought there. Maybe they thought of it used as a highlight, and maybe that's why. I don't know. But it says it's a setting powder, so I'm a little confused by that arrangement, but, you know, it's fine. It works. I use it as a highlight. I have two that stand out. This isn't as recent of a purchase as this one. This is another one of the palettes that I used every single show. You can see these and these. I've used all the other shades as well. I love this palette. I feel like this is such a revenge palette for Anastasia, because I feel like they haven't really released anything that I've been amazingly crazy about, but these are so pretty shadows. They're so pigmented, they go on so well, they wear amazingly, they feel soft and buttery. I love this palette. I think it might beat Natasha Denona. These share top 1 for me this year. I'm only picking eyeshadow palettes because those are the ones that I've tried a few this year that came out this year, because I feel like everything else would be a little messy. But this palette, look at it. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Can you see this shade right here? That just turned green. And it's purple. And it's green. It's a duochrome shade, and I absolutely love that shade. I think it's incredible. This palette is so beautiful. It's so pigmented. It's so much Natasha Denona. I know it's like her dream palette, but it's lovely. I actually really like the packaging. I know a lot of people harped on it, like they didn't like this, they thought it looked dirty. I really liked it. I also really like the soft touch because it doesn't get as dirty as the shiny metallic, you know, packaging that she does normally. I prefer this. I really love this. Look at that. I kind of have to angle it, but look at that. So many pretty shades. So this is probably top 1, I should say. No, I don't know. I feel like this might beat it. I feel like it's like this. It's like neck and neck, but this one is kind of like it's beating it a little bit. But I really love this palette, and I love this palette, but I feel like I'm gonna use this palette today just to showcase what it can do. I feel like I really want to use Peacock because it's kind of a little bit of a duochrome. It's got a little pink in it. It's got a little, you know, whatever. This is an honorable mention. I love this brush. It's the way it's tapered. It's the way it's, I'm gonna try to figure out which one it is. A tapered blending brush from Morphe. This is from their MUA Live 20-piece brush collection in case. This one. That's where I got it. It was in a smaller one as well, I think. It's so good. It's the perfect size for my eyes, and it's tapered a little bit. Like, it's not round. I don't know how to show you this. It's not round all around. It's like tapered to the side, and it just fits perfectly. I love it for just blending in general. I love it for placing. It's the perfect amount of dense and then tapered out. I'm gonna start off with Metro, which is this shade right here, and I'm gonna put that all over the... Am I gonna do that? Yes. As normal with Anastasia shadows like this, they're very pigmented, but they're also kind of, what's it called when they get like that? Powdery. Like, kickback. Kickback is the word I'm looking for. They have a little bit of kickback, but they're so pigmented it makes up for it. Personally, I'm not bothered by kickback. Not personally bothered by kickback, as I've said multiple times on my channel before. As long as the whole freaking eyeshadow doesn't just fall out, you know, then I would be a little bothered. I admit I would be a little bothered. There we go. Beautiful. And to kind of deepen that up, I think I'm going in with this lovely, amazing green shadow, which is called Liberty. And I'm going in with a smaller blending brush for that. All the kickback gone. So you can see it didn't steal any of the shadow. It's perfectly fine. And then I'm going into this shade right here at the edge, which is called Muse. It's got a little shimmer in it, but I'm going to use it on the outer corner of my eye. To really get a deeper outer corner, and same thing on the other eye. And I go back into a little bit of Metro just to fix that outer edge a little bit. We'll bring that warmth back. I'm kind of tempted to go into Natasha Denona for the shimmer shade, but I'm not going to because I feel like that's the predictable choice. I really want to use Peacock. Right here it's shimmery, not like high shine shimmer like a Lily Hope and Wings. It's more of a low shine shimmer, I think. But I'm going in with that on the lid. It's like a bluey purpley type of shade. That's what I love about this palette. It's so versatile. You can use it for a day look with some pop of color. You got Fleur, you got Metro, and then just a little Isle, which is this nice champagne-y shimmer. And then you can also do this, which is like going out, you know, evening type look. The blueness of the shade doesn't really show on camera, but this is such a good palette, man. I kind of really want to do a pop of Wisteria, which is this lilac shade right here at the inner corner. I'm grabbing a little bit of Wisteria on a Morphe and Abby Roberts collab, AB315. At least these has numbers. I love it when I can reference what I'm using. Ooh, that is pigmented. I expected it, but also not really. Ooh, I like that. Are you seeing that? That little lilac moment? I sometimes love to put a matte in the inner corner like that to just like open up, and I think I'm bringing it underneath as well, like all the way to mid here, and then I'm taking Muse, which is that little shimmery dark shade at the outer corners down here, and I'm blending it into the purple. I like it because this shade can be used as a shimmer, but also if you like use it with a brush and like brush it out, I feel like the glitters and everything just kind of go away and all of a sudden it's a matte. I'm bringing it all the way up in there, that purple shade. I've never done a look like this. This has inspired me. I think we're a little bit more even with that. I didn't use my favorite brush. Maybe a different time. I kind of want to line a little bit since it's a dark eye to help my mascara go on. So I'm just gonna line with that Muse shade along the lash line, and I'll be back because this is a really long clip now. Okay, so I don't know if you see a difference. I definitely saw a difference, even though at the beginning I was like, oh, it's doing nothing because I started at the edge. As highlighter, I'm going back into this. Can you tell I love it? And I'm going to be using a fluffy highlighter brush, this one, on the tops of my cheekbones. And as most of you know or have noticed probably, I don't really do my brows like ever. Maybe with a look like this I would do my brows because it's very intense. Maybe I should do my brows. I don't have a favorites for my brows at all. I really don't, because I literally only have one product and it's the only product I used. I have a new product I could try, which is the Brow Friends Forever by the Beauty Corporation, or Beauty Corp, which is supposed to be a brow gel. Never used a brow gel, so I don't have anything to compare this to, but I can try it. I also started with a good brow. A brow that always follows my lead, that always wants to do what I want to do. This is the other brow. Can you see the gel? Don't want it to be seen. I'm not sure. Anyway, used a brow gel for the first time. It got foundation on it, so I'm gonna try to wipe it off. Can you do that? Is that gonna ruin it? Maybe, maybe not. I just did it. I don't think I ruined it. That's the way they look now. I don't think I'm gonna do anything to them. I feel like it looks fine. I have literally black brows, so they usually don't look that weird if I have a heavy eye on. So that's that. This isn't a choker. If you've watched my channel, I think this is the only concealer I've literally ever used, except maybe like once or twice when I use the minis that come with the Christmas set. I used this one in my last makeup video that I filmed with this, which is the Hypnose Doll Eyes. I was very sick when I filmed that and really bored, so I'm not sure if that's ever going to see the light of day, so you might not see it, but I know that I did it. Like I said, putting things away was something I was gonna do. Didn't do that on like I usually would. I have one lash. Did you see what I just did? I put a little dot right there. I'm gonna leave it to dry. Like a sane and patient, smart person, I'm not gonna try to pick at it. I'm telling myself this so I try to just take that lash that wants to grow straight down. All the other ones are good, but that one tries to grow straight down. So it looks really funny when one of them is just like, if you look at me from the side. So I try to grab it while the mascara is wet, and I just kind of push it up, and that way usually it kind of stays alright. I feel like I've talked a lot. I'm just never disappointed with this mascara. And I just realized I fucked up as well. I didn't do my setting spray before I did my mascara, which is fine, but that way now I have to be a little bit more careful with what I do and how I do it. Ooh, another honorable mention, considering eyeshadow, is the Hourglass, what is it? Glitter eyeshadow in Vivid. It's like a green, goldy shade. I've used it like 10 times probably. It wears so well. It's so shimmery, high shine. I absolutely love it. My hand looks so weird in those shots. It's insane. I don't like it. And it wears so well. It almost looks like a cream when you put it on and the way it wears. Now, it's just setting spray. This is definitely nothing new, but I tried this for the first time this year, I think. And I've been using it relentlessly ever since. I absolutely love this. Not because it makes my makeup melt into each other, it makes it wear so long. I know that is the whole point and the whole sales pitch, but it really does. I used this for the first time once and it was like literally 30 degrees Celsius outside this summer at my sister's house because she had it, and my makeup stayed on like it was nothing. And I was so hot, I was sweating. It was so good. That's why I got it. It makes my under eyes, it helps them so much. They don't really crease when I wear this. Now I love my MAC Fix Plus. That makes everything just melt in. If anything looks cakey, I would suggest just like spritz your face, balance a beauty blender, you're good. It's so good for that, but this for wear time is so good. And I discovered this, not discovered it, I tried this for the first time this year, which is why I'm mentioning it now. And I'm just gonna spritz my face and I'm gonna use this as a fan because I feel like that helps it somehow. Maybe that's just in my head. It might be, it probably is. And that is the finished look. So this is what we're working with. This is the eyeshadow. I just love all of the products that I use right now so much. I love them relentlessly. I use them to death. It's so good. My skin looks so glowy, looks so natural. I love what I did with the eyes. I've never done this look before and I really like it. I like that pop of purple in the inner corner. Anyway, these are all of my favorites from the year of 2022 that I used makeup wise, but that is all of them. If you have any favorites, any makeup favorites, anything you want me to really try out, anything that you loved during the year of 2022 or maybe recently found, please put it down below and I will check it out. I would love to know what makeup favorites you had from this year. That is all for me today, but that is, oh, I didn't do a lip. I don't really have a favorite lip product. Actually, I do. This lip balm is incredible. I really like this one. It's an honorable mention, I guess. Ooh, I know. Actually, I do have a favorite. I'm going to use this lip liner from NYX and Free Spirit just to line my lips a little bit. It's nothing major. I just line the edge of my lips. I really like this one. This lip liner is great. But this lipstick from Isadora in Cafe Cream is so beautiful. It's such a good everyday shade. It's just such a good neutral like lipstick. I highly recommend it. It's not expensive. It's so good. And I really like the fact that this has like a magnetic closure. I don't know why, but that really I like it even more because of it. But it's such a beautiful shade and it wears really well. It stays on. It's matte but it doesn't dry your lips out, which is really good for a drugstore formula. That doesn't always happen with them. And I also love this lip gloss. It's not new for this year, and I've used it for 2 years now, I think. It's the Fenty Glow Gloss Bomb in Universal. But it's got kind of a pinkish shade. I'll put it on over top. Love that lip gloss. Incredible. So those are mine. The shade Zero Cafe Cream of the Isadora. Love that lipstick. And the Fenty Gloss Bomb. And then the NYX Matte Lip Liner in Free Spirit. The Suede matte the Suede matte lip liner in Free Spirit from NYX. Love these. That is my lip combo for 2022. Very neutral. Maybe a little warm for this eye. Would have probably worn something a little less warm if I was going out in this. But yes, anyway, now that I haven't forgotten anything, thank you so much for liking. No. I hope you like this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And I will see you next time. Bye!